Great to have you here
Welcome to the podcast.
with me and my guests from around the world. Welcome to the Simone Filer podcast.
Welcome to this podcast.
Let's get into it, shall we? On the Simone Filer podcast. Chadia Chalmers' life is like a Hollywood movie. Seriously, the trials and tribulations this little power pack has fronted is unfathomable. Her life, documented in her debut audiobook, Cyclamen, has you thinking, oh my God, this is horrendous. And then along comes another incident that makes you wonder when her roller coaster ride of a life is going to stop. Creative writer and voice actor Nadine Schmeller has just finished the 12 hours taken to narrate Chadia's audiobook, Cyclamen. So welcome to my podcast, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
Lovely to have you here. I don't want to give too much away about Cyclamen in our podcast, but in a nutshell, basically, Chadia, you grew up in Beirut. You were there as a young adult through the horrendous civil war until you finally changed course and left, leaving your family behind to find a better life. Did you ever envisage back then becoming an author when you grew up?
Yes, in a different language.
What were your dreams as a little girl back in Beirut?
Simone, as a young girl, I had dreams to becoming a doctor so I could help and heal people after losing my dad. I later was keen to study to be a lawyer to help defend and provide justice.
I guess it would have been very hard with all that you've seen now that I've just heard your entire audiobook, not wanting to be compassionate and help people, I guess. Or you could have maybe even gone the other way and thought, it's all about just killing people here. But growing up in war-torn Lebanon was confrontational, to say the very least, and I'm in awe, Chadia, of your strength and your resilience. You're an absolute legend. You're a hero. And once people hear Cyclamen, in particular women, you're going to be their idol. I can tell you right now, because I am. I really am. The sheer volume of difficult situations that you've had to deal with in your lifetime, and to come through all of that to this end, an accomplished author and business owner here in Australia, is highly commendable. And of course, the message that you give out at the end of your book about all being together and just disregarding everyone's differences and love one another. But recounting some of the situations in your book must have taken some courage, to say the very least. I would imagine those memories were best left forgotten. Did you find it cathartic writing it all down, and did it help you come to peace with your dishevelled beginnings?
While there were many happy and good memories, there were also many memories that were a challenge to recount. These stirred up emotions, often bringing me to tears. I don't know if the process brought any peace or closure, but I have always been determined to tell my story, and to this end I felt a sense of achievement in completing my book.
How did the idea of writing Cyclamen first come to you?
After escaping the civil war in Lebanon to America, I started writing some notes here and there, but always dreaming of telling my story.
And when did you decide then to actually, what were the first steps to say, okay, I'm going to do this now?
I have always longed to tell my story and made dreams of notes in preparation. But it was only when I had raised my children and was able to dedicate the time and resources that, with the support of my loving family, I had the opportunity to fulfill my dream. Actually, in October 2016, after having another nightmare, I was spurred into seriously tackling the daunting job of putting my story on paper. English is my second language. You can say I'm a wogue, which make it harder for me to express myself in written English. I sometimes think in Arabic and write in English, so I decided to engage a ghostwriter to assist me. I typed notes and chapters, then had numerous meetings with the ghostwriter. We spoke on the phone and emails on regular basis. The first draft was really bad.
All first drafts, that's just your first thoughts initially going down, I guess. So were you working at the time of writing?
Simone, I'm a real estate agent, so I'm always busy. But my passion was always to complete the book, and I worked around it, and I just meant to have longer days. In fact, my husband used to joke that I had it easy. He would say, "You only have to work a half day." And I could choose which 12 hours I work.
That's funny. You didn't sleep, obviously, ever. How long did it take to write then the whole thing and finally go through the editing process to have the printed copy in your hand?
As I said earlier, the first draft was really bad. And I had to have so many reviews and drafts, and so many people were involved. The ghostwriter, 2 different editors, and family members. It took me more than 4 years to have a printed copy. We had illness in the family and COVID-19. So life threw up its own challenges, but we got there.
Did the COVID situation give you more time to concentrate on writing, or were you still working during that time?
I was still working, yes, yeah, definitely. But delay with things, with the printing, with finalizing things, with artwork, with other editing, all that just, contributed to the delay.
Well, that's amazing that it really only took 4 years. I've worked with other authors that have spent like 10, 15 years on their projects. So that's outstanding. And I'm going back to the fact that your life was outstanding. The stuff that you've seen, and I don't know how you fit all that stuff into your life just quietly. You're amazing. So then I guess once you finally got the book in your hand, you decided, okay, I want to make an audio book, and that's when you called me. Thank you so much for calling me, Chadia. Your story is inspirational and powerful, and Nadine has done a superb job of narrating it. And how did you decide that Nadine was going to be the one to narrate your story?
First, thank you so much, Simone. I'm so happy that I met you.
Thank you.
I knew that Nadine would be the one to narrate the story, because she would be able to express and tell the story well. Her heritage and ability to speak both Arabic and English is complemented by her background in media and social media. She is the perfect fit for my story. It always amazes me how things ultimately fall into place.
Oh, thanks, Chadia. It's really, really flattering to hear.
Chadia, you are going to cry. She certainly made me cry. Not only your words, obviously, but Nadine's delivery was outstanding. You've done such a great job. How did you find the process in the booth?
Oh, look, I loved it. I actually was shocked at how much I loved it. I think I said it's probably been my favourite job, and I've had a lot of jobs.
Yay!
So it was the first time. I've never done a narration or an audiobook before.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, first time giving that a shot. I mean, I've done radio and things like that, but nothing like this, such a big project and endeavour. And that process has been amazing. You're also really, really easy to work with, which is really nice. Sometimes that you come in and you're super nervous and anxious, especially that first day, and you don't know what to expect, but it's really lovely and casual and calm, and there's lots of snacks and candy and water and just things that are prepared and little touches that make such a big difference. And it's funny because I think I said to you, you remind me a lot of Chadia. I kind of snuck into your house and there's lots of little things, like little boxes of messages and things and knickknacks and touches and stuff. And just those extra little considerations, really reminded me of this really nice parallel between the two of you.
So that's so cool. And I just mentioned to Chadia that her son, Alex, his nickname is Sunny, and that's my daughter's name.
Yeah.
So,
there you go. More connections.
Yeah, connections.
Beautiful.
So when you were reading it to me, like I said, you made me cry. I've used quite a few boxes of tissues going through it. But did you feel like you were Chadia?
In the moment, absolutely. I could see what she was saying. And during the recording, I was fine. I think I kind of switched that professional switch. But when I got home, I was actually shocked at how much I was affected by it.
Wow.
I think in the moment you're telling the story and you're at work. And then when you go home and you kind of think about it and think about everything that this amazing woman has experienced, and I couldn't fathom, my brain can't understand how to experience such intense trauma, then to just come out, I guess, like a flower, to blossom again, like a cyclamen, like the flower in the book. You know, it's such a great metaphor for, you know, you read the book, it's the perfect metaphor.
It is exactly the perfect title for it, cyclamen, definitely. You go into hibernation basically, or you don't bloom until all that hard stuff's over.
Yep.
You're amazing, Chadia. You really are. Just quickly before I let Chadia know how awesome she is again, have you got any tips for any would-be authors who'd like to narrate their audiobook here, Nadine?
Don't hesitate, I think is the only real tip. Just do it. I think when you take the leap and just start, I think then the process kind of all falls together. Just, you know, jump in and do it, and you'll see how easy it actually is.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I couldn't stop crying listening to your story, Chadia. Your delivery, Nadine, was emotional, emotive, powerful, challenging, inspiring, all the things a Hollywood blockbuster has and more. And I want to thank you both for sharing your story with me and for coming on my podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
How can people find out more about you, and where can people get your book?
Oh, it's so easy to contact me. Chadia Chalmers is such a unique name. I believe that I am the only one in this world. My mobile number is 0402 299 901, and I get 2 emails. You could use either one, chadia@chadiachalmers.com, or hello@cyclamenstory.com.
Excellent. And your website is cyclamenstory.com?
cyclamenstory.com.
And there's an Instagram, I believe, as well, Cyclamen Journey.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for coming on board with me to do this project. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And my guests from around the world.
Thank you for being a part of this show.
The Simone Filer Podcast. Catch you next time.
It's a wrap.